Now, healthcare reform. Are we going to have it? Are we going to have a bipartisan compromise? All right, so we go to Chuck Grassley to find out. Chuck Grassley is sending out a little letter to his constituents. Let's find out if he is really working on compromise. Remember, he is the ranking member on the Finance Committee, the Gang of Six. These are the guys that are supposed to put together the bipartisan compromise. He's the head of the Republicans trying to seek this, in the middle of this negotiation, seeking the compromise. Laugh along with me. Here's what he sends to his Republican constituents. I had to rush you this airgram today to set the record straight on my firm and unwavering opposition to government-run health care. Does it sound like he's negotiating? He continues, and ask your immediate support in helping me to defeat Obamacare. I'm sure you've been following this issue closely. If the legislation sponsored by Speaker Nancy Pelosi in the House of Representatives and Chairman Ted Kennedy in the Senate is passed, it would be a pathway to government takeover of healthcare system. It would turn over control of your healthcare decisions to a federal bureaucrat and take it away from you and your personal physician. It would mean government rationing in the name of cost controls. Does it sound like he's negotiating? Does it sound like he's ready for compromise? Well, in case it wasn't clear, and by the way, the emphasis was in the letter. Half these things were underlined in the letter. If it wasn't clear, here he comes at the end. Quote, the simple truth is that I am and always have been opposed to the Obama administration's plan to nationalize health care. Period. I didn't add period. It's in the letter. He wrote out period and put another period in next to it, in case it wasn't clear enough. Under no circumstances is this man going to do an actual bipartisan compromise on healthcare reform. As Ezra Klein of the Washington Post points out, after you send out this letter and you campaign in this way, and he's got a right-wing opponent in the primaries that are coming up in 2010, after you campaign this way, you can't backpedal. It puts you in a really tough spot, because if after saying, I will crush Obamacare, and I have and always will be against Obamacare, you can't then say, hey, I shook hands with Obama and I came up with a health care reform proposal. If your intention was to do that, you would never write a letter half as harsh as this. So come on, if you didn't already know that they were yanking our chain, that they never intended to actually compromise, that their intention all along was to kill health care reform, well, they just told you. Now, if the Democrats continue to pretend to negotiate with these guys, then you have to understand that they never believed it in the first place. They knew that the Republicans weren't going to negotiate, that they're using it as a ploy to water down real health care reform in this country, because they get paid by the same health care companies that the Republicans get paid by. That's the reality of the matter. Now, we'll find out, because we're going to see how the Democrats react to this.